Plan failed, my fiancé still ran away from the wedding. He was scared I might harm myself, so he arranged a bodyguard for me. That bodyguard casually asked. My place is pretty run down, can a lady like you adjust? Later, Jason settled his sweetheart and called the bodyguard. Is she eating all right? Philip glanced at me, his voice a bit harsher. She's behaving and eating well. On the day of the engagement, Jason's sweetheart attempted suicide. He abandoned a whole banquet hall of socialites and rushed to her, leaving me behind, a laughingstock. I did try to stop him before he left. I said, Jason, if you leave, I'll die too. Would you still run away? He hesitated. But soon his eyes looked determined. Carrie, you won't do it. Don't you love me enough to grow old with me? Jason didn't know. I'm wired with a game plan. If I can't get engaged to him today, then the mission fails. I'll be quickly detached from this world. But maybe my last words did scare him. So before leaving, he set up a bodyguard for me, tasked to watch me 24/7, prevent any harm. Now, Philip had already booked a hotel, held a room key, and opened the door. He stood in front of me, towering over. Carrie, put your luggage here. Call me if you need anything anytime. I'm off now. I had nothing to say. Just hours left, and I'm under watch, with a bodyguard who's all look and no touch. That's when the system suddenly kicked in. Host, to save your endangered life, we're switching your target. Conquer the man in front, make him go mad, cry at your feet. The man standing there. It's this Philip, the bodyguard, right? I looked up and swallowed. The system kept talking. This opportunity cost all my points. 187, 8-pack abs, a personal fridge, you know he's got it. Quick, touch him, kiss him, seize him. I looked up, gently rubbed my ear, and swallowed again. You're not allowed to leave, I said, blushing, rushing to hug Philip's waist. Him. He tensed up almost completely. Through the black bodyguard uniform, I could feel his defined muscles. His voice dropped a notch. Then I'll wait outside in the hallway. Not happening. I steeled myself, shifted my hand downwards. I can't sleep alone. Philip almost laughed out of anger. He turned, glanced at me mockingly. So, using me to get back at Jason? Let me tell you, I don't want to get involved in your rich family drama. I didn't let him finish. Tippy-toed, I pressed my lips to his. Jason pays you $5,000 a month? Be with me, I'll pay you $20,000. I'd already checked his file through the system. It was as blank as a piece of paper, and simple. He needs money. Philip grabbed my rogue hand. He stared intently at me, a smirk tugging his lips. Carrie, you asked for this yourself. Don't blame me if you end up crying. Next thing, he closed in on me. His big hands tore my dress to shreds. Those stories online were all bogus. Said it'd be enjoyable. My back aches. My whole body felt like falling apart. Philip doesn't know how to be gentle at all. I propped myself up, leaned on him, and lectured. I'm dying. Don't you know limits? Already dying over this? Philip lifted his hand, pressed down on my collarbone. His voice was lazy, a faint smile at his lips. That's fine, we'll try again. I don't know limits, but I know sizes. That's when I realized what kind of person I tangled with. Scoundrel. Pervert. Lecher. I yelled. His smile only seemed to broaden. He scooped me up. I couldn't muster any strength, just followed his lead. Just when I thought it was finally over, the phone rang. It was Philip's phone. I lay limp on the side, not wanting to lift my head. Philip sat up, picked up the phone. He glanced at the screen, then slightly frowned. After a brief hesitation, he answered. Soon. Jason's voice faintly came through. Philip, how's it going over there? Is Carrie causing trouble? Philip picked up a lighter. A click, a cigarette lit. Smoke rose, hiding his expression. She's all right. He reached out, touched my cheek. She just ate and is sleeping. On the other end, Jason sighed. I can't come back these few days. Cece isn't doing well. I need to be at the hospital. Keep an eye on Carrie for me. She's got a temper, stubborn as ever. I'm worried she'll do something drastic. Philip chuckled. His grip on my chin tightened. Yeah. She's stubborn. Stubborn enough not to beg. He suddenly leaned down, cupping my head, and bit my lip hard. A faint taste of tobacco overwhelmed my senses. Took over all my perception. Just when I was about to drown. His grip finally softened. Carrie. Do you know what your boyfriend said on the phone? He said you blocked him and wants me to cheer you up. So, how exactly should I cheer you up? He was sitting at the end of the bed, slowly buttoning his shirt. The phone on the bed suddenly lit up. He looked down at it, furrowing his brows as he took a glance. Philip is pretty beefy, but his hands are surprisingly beautiful. I stared at them for a while. Then I couldn't help myself. I made a little fist and pounced at him. Who taught you to cheer someone up like this? Do it again. Before I could finish, he caught my hand halfway. He lifted his eyelashes a bit, looking at me. Just moments ago, he was so laid back, but now he seemed somewhat annoyed. His tone turning serious. Carrie. One night is all I can offer. You still have the chance to stop this now, and we can end it here. Jason just messaged me, saying he'll come back in 4 days. If we stop now, you can go back to your normal life as the wealthy girl you are, with nothing changing. Turns out that text was Jason sharing his plans with Philip. He's already got top doctors and psychologists on board, coming from other cities to check on Becky. Once he gets time, he'll come to discuss renewing our engagement. But who are these guys to decide my fate? Has anyone thought about what I want? I was fuming. Jumping up in anger. Okay. Philip. You're a real piece of work, leaving right after the act. I grabbed my new Birkin bag, letting out a few cold laughs. I, Carrie, have never met someone as tough as you. Just before I could finish, the system piped up. Host, we've detected that your attraction score with the target isn't low. I perked up my ears slightly. The system went on explaining. The progress is even faster than it was with Jason. Could it be that you two knew each other before? I shook my head. Philip was a professional bodyguard hired by Jason's company for major events. When we went on dates, there was usually no one else around that I didn't know. Maybe I saw him by chance when I went to the company? I pulled up Philip's file. But since he's just an NPC, it only had a few rough lines. In those sketchy records, it said. His mother abandoned him when he was very young, his father racked up debts, and sold him to an underground fight club to pay them off. He started earning money young. When he grew up, Philip fell for someone. He wanted to tell her his feelings. But she seemed to think he was poor and ditched him. So, he was left all alone once again. After being abandoned and left behind time after time, he found it hard to trust anyone wholly. I thought for a moment. Seems like I got it now. This tough-looking bodyguard is actually sensitive and fragile inside. What he really needs is someone who will choose him steadfastly. This kind of progress? Not hard at all. I smiled, extending my hand toward him. Philip. I'm not leaving. He jerked his head up, his once dim eyes lighting up instantly. Are you sure? Yeah, I interrupted him. I don't lack money or status, I just want who I like. And that's. I wiggled my fingers, pinching his earlobe. I've already told the world Jason and I are done, where else would I go? Just then, I had this thought. Even though Jason called off the engagement, both our families were a perfect match, and his parents quickly stepped in, saying the engagement was postponed, not cancelled. So a lot of people thought we weren't really over. Just hit by some unexpected chaos. I then posted on social media, writing a few lines, tagging all my friends. I officially announce I broke up with Jason. I wish him and his beloved a lifetime of happiness. I also found someone I love, and I've been very happy. No need to worry about me. I attached a picture we took in the evening, showing Philip's and my overlapping hands. At that time, I wasn't aware that when Jason saw this, he crushed the bottle he was holding. He turned his entire social circle upside down, just to find the guy in the picture. Since the engagement fiasco, Jason stayed at the hospital. A lot of friends from the circle came by. Some close buddies even joked. "Jason, are you still going through with the engagement with Carrie? I think you should rekindle things with Becky." Becky sat on the hospital bed, staying quiet, but she lifted her head subtly, sneaking a glance at him. For no reason, Jason felt a bit annoyed. "Stop joking around. These kinds of decisions are up to the families, not something we can just change on a whim." For a moment, the atmosphere went cold. Some guys exchanged looks because they sensed something was off in his tone, and quickly changed the subject. Okay, your family's affair is none of our business. But you, my friend, have it all, making two gorgeous women go crazy for you." With that remark, everyone chuckled. It was clear. Everyone remembered what Carrie said at the engagement party when she tried to hold on to Jason. "If you leave me, I'll die, what then?" Someone picked up their phone. "No kidding, it's been a while since we last saw anything from Carrie. Didn't she love posting updates? Wonder what she's up to now." On the other side, Jason swallowed harshly. It had been quite a while since he last talked to Carrie. Since that engagement disaster ended, Jason found she had blocked him. It didn't feel right. Perhaps because she always followed him, like a little shadow, fulfilling any request. It felt like he had something ripped right from his body when she suddenly disappeared like that. Thinking about it, he unconsciously clenched his hand, his eyes fixed intently across from him. Until the guy opened his eyes wide, letting out a surprised gasp. "Jason, Carrie said she has a new boyfriend?" The photo showed two hands intertwined. Jason thought, Carrie knew damn well he could never mistake her fingers. She was doing this to piss him off, right? Oh, she was doing a great job because he was fuming now. His fingers moved to call her without thinking. But as soon as he dialed, he remembered he was blocked. So he grabbed his friend's phone and dialed from there. The ringing seemed to drag on forever. Like an eternal wait until finally, it got picked up. Then he heard Carrie's familiar, tired voice. "Hello? Who is this? Take it easy, you creep, I can't handle it." Even from such a distance, you could feel that intimate, teasing vibe. The call ended right there. The atmosphere was painfully awkward. The room was dead quiet, like a tomb. After a while, someone coughed, trying to break the tension. Maybe it was a wrong number? Or Carrie was just joking, you know? Heh. Barely had the words left his mouth when a phone flew over. It skimmed past his forehead and hit the wall across. Get lost. Jason felt like it had been ages since he was this mad. Even when Becky called his name, he was too annoyed to respond. He flicked the lighter in his hand. The flame jumped out, grazing his fingers. His voice was ice cold. She sure moved on fast. Find out who she's with. I'm leaving the hotel with Philip. Suddenly, I remembered someone called me earlier. Probably a friend of Jason. What a moron. What's he want with me? I pulled out my phone, finding every contact related to Jason. Deleted and blocked them all in one go. After doing all that, I felt wonderfully refreshed. Philip was ahead, dragging my suitcase, and noticed I wasn't following. He stopped, looking back for me. Carrie, what's wrong? Such a nickname for a couple, gotta love it. I caught up, smiling, nothing, just deleting some dead contacts. Right after I said that, I suddenly thought of something else. By the way, do you still talk to Jason? Philip didn't seem to like hearing Jason's name. He frowned, tightening his grip on the suitcase handle. How could I? I've already submitted my resignation to the headquarters. He took a big step toward me, holding my wrist. Staring without blinking. I admit it was wrong to watch you for him before. From now on, we'll leave him behind, okay? Possessive, huh? Got it in the bag. Honestly, I was just worried Jason might go nuts if he knew about Philip. Our relationship would go public eventually. But I wanted to sort out the engagement mess with my family first. Didn't want to end up like Jason, juggling too. Yeah, let's not mention him. I squeezed Philip's hand back. Jason booked this hotel, so we're leaving. So, where to next? How about your place? Philip wanted to turn me down. But I was persistent. I wasn't done with my game plan. What if he changed his mind and bailed? Surprise, surprise, Philip's place wasn't downtown, but I didn't expect it to be this far out. 2 hours on transit, switching from line 3 to 4, almost at the city's edge. Philip had one hand on my luggage, the other holding mine. He led me up to the 3rd floor, unlocking the door with a key. A rental apartment, maybe 400 square feet, not big. It might be old, but it was tidy. Clothes and toiletries neatly organized, no clutter. A big bookcase stood against the wall. Curious, I walked over. A shelf full of books. All sorts of genres, but mostly business and finance. Some looked pretty serious. I scratched my chin, turning back to him. Didn't think you were into that. Are you planning to start a business? Haha. Philip ignored me. He moved my things to the bedroom and washed his hands in the kitchen. Then he took some fruits and veggies from the fridge, glancing at me. Stop overthinking. I told you, you might not like it here. If you want to go, I can find you a hotel before dark. Kicking me out already? No way. I jumped onto his bed, sprawled out and called to Philip as I pulled out my phone. You go shower first, I need to chill. He didn't answer. Soon enough, the water was running in the bathroom. I opened my chat app. Ever since I announced the split with Jason, people kept checking on me. Annoyed, I turned off notifications. Opening it now. So many messages poured in at once. Mostly from people in our circle I barely spoke to. I couldn't be bothered, so I scrolled through them. Then I saw a pop-up from Molly, my best friend, from 2 days ago. Carrie, did you really break up with Jason? Not just a fight, right? You never said you had a new boyfriend. Hey, ignoring me? Having a romantic time, are we? Keeping it from even me. No dinner invite? I snorted with laughter. She's always been nosy. I'd barely posted about the breakup when she came fishing for details. I smiled, ready to explain. And as luck would have it, she must have been about to message me. After a few seconds of typing, Molly sent me a video. Not long, and not very clear either. Kind of felt like it was secretly recorded. Carrie, are you really okay? Jason's been losing it trying to find you. He's looking for me. Shouldn't he be by Becky's side, doting on her, all lovey-dovey? I opened the short video that was sent over. Judging from the background, it was at the hotel Philip and I just left. He's sitting on the lobby sofa, holding a cigarette. His brows are tightly furrowed. Whenever someone comes down, he'd glance up, then quickly look away. Kind of creepy. Luckily, I had the foresight to check out and leave early. Imagine how awkward it would have been to bump into him. Just then, Molly's call came through. Carrie, where are you? I quickly reassured her, I'm good, I'm here. Standing up, I hit the speaker button and gazed out the window. Beyond was an old residential area, abandoned factories, and a school overrun with weeds. Basically, the edge of the city. Molly's probably never been here. I sighed, deciding not to let her worry. I'm fine, it's safe. I'm with that boyfriend I told you about, hee hee. On the other end, I heard a loud, surprised exclamation. Whoa. You really have someone? I thought you were just messing with Jason. Since you canceled the engagement, he left Becky's hospital. Word spread in our circle, it's all been for nothing, just a mess with nothing to show but embarrassment. Now, Jason and Becky are a joke to everyone. I was a bit surprised to hear how quickly Jason moved on. In all the years we were together, Becky was always a thorn between us. Her parents passed early, so Jason's always been looking out for her. It slowed down my plans for us. But now, it's all whatever. I let out a small, TSK, what a waste. I was going to give them a wedding gift. Molly burst out laughing. She was never too happy about me being with Jason. I guess she's tired of the topic, so we moved on. Didn't he have someone watching over you? What happened to that bodyguard? You win him over? The conversation somehow circled back to Philip. According to Molly, people in our circle are gossiping whether my announced boyfriend is real or not, wondering if he even exists. I blinked, thought for a second, and slowly replied, what do you mean win over? How about this perspective? What if my boyfriend is just that bodyguard? The line went silent. Silent to the point where I thought Molly might have fainted in those minutes. Just as I was about to hang up, she finally reacted. Even though I did hear Jason hired a bodyguard who's a total knockout, you do realize Jason's engagement present was $50 million, right? These things, they're just for fun, not serious. Now it was my turn to be quiet. I wasn't sure how to respond. Logically, after the mission, I could easily say goodbye to Philip. But he does have an amazing body. With that thought, I instinctively looked towards the bathroom. He had come out at some point, wearing a robe, his chest slightly exposed. Drying his hair with a towel. As I was about to rush over, I remembered the call was on speaker. Who knows how much he heard? Feeling guilty, I quickly hung up, then smiled and nudged his robe. Philip, you smell nice. He gently took hold of my hand, putting it down, voice a bit husky and cool. Get some rest. It's been a tiring few days. I'll make the bed for you. The bedroom in the rental had only one, single bed, not even a sofa. Tugging at his robe, I pulled him closer. All right then, you don't have to sleep on the floor tonight. You can hold me instead. That night, nothing happened. But I slept really well. Maybe because Philip's body was so warm, almost like snuggling a big dog. I rested my head on his arm and dreamed a strange dream. It felt like something from a long time ago, back when I first arrived in this world. Knew no one, didn't even have a system in place yet. I was just this little victim in school, getting bullied by everyone. Then, I got a boyfriend. He was so poor we could barely afford food, but he was a great fighter, known as the school's bad boy. To avoid being bullied, I clung to him, making cookies to bring him every day. Everyone called me sis. I had this brief, sorta scary but happy, time. Until one day. My system finally kicked in. It pointed to this guy, a star student in the next class over who liked to stare at me with this dark look. See him? That's your target. This whole prince of the school deal. I've arranged for you to join a rich family, totally together and all. Soon, they'll find you and bring you home. Then nobody will mess with you anymore. But wait. No one was bullying me now anyway. The system ignored my confusion and just told me I had to break up with the bad boy. Because in our storyline, we shouldn't have a thing. If we forced it, we'd both get punished. I had one day to break up. No worries. The system tried to comfort me, those irrelevant side plots, they'll quickly vanish from your memory. In the dream, we'd planned to eat at a new noodle shop outside the school. But I was really late. The street lights were on, the noodle shop closed early. Just the tall bad boy, standing under the eaves. Hearing a sound, he looked up. He stared at me without blinking, his eyes sparkling. But soon, that sparkle faded. I said, "Let's break up." "What?" "Well, you know, I'm actually an heiress who's been lost." I started making up reasons. "I get hundreds of thousands as my monthly allowance. I've got a fiancé from a rich family, living in a mansion, driving luxury cars. So no one will bully me anymore, and I don't need you." The feared school bully for the first time looked down. He seemed really upset. "Baby, did I upset you? So you're lying to me, right?" "Of course not." I hesitated for a moment. But finally, I steeled my heart. "You're just too poor. Can't even afford a nice diamond ring." Saying this, I took a deep breath. Turned and bolted. I jogged to the corner. Then sneaked a peek back. The bully didn't chase me. He was still standing at the noodle shop entrance. Someone usually surrounded by troublemakers without showing any fear. Now slowly bent down. Bit by bit crouched down to the ground. When I woke up the next morning, my head was still fuzzy with memories from that dream. It was too real. Almost didn't feel fake. I flipped over, got out of bed. Wanted to tell Philip this strange story right away. But the bedroom was already empty. Quiet, vacant. Only the ticking of the clock reminding me I slept right into the afternoon. Sunlight slipped through the curtains. On the bedside table was a glass of honey water with a note underneath. The handwriting was forceful. "There's food in the fridge and cabinet, I went out for a bit. He left a girl home alone." After squirming under the covers for who knows how long, my stomach growled. So I finally wrapped in a blanket and crawled to the cabinet. Inside was as neat as the whole room. I started digging through the snacks area, looking for flavors I liked. But I must have bumped something. Heard a clink. A metal box had fallen to the floor from the corner. The clasp was rusted and had broken off. With one hit, the contents inside naturally spilled out. Cookies. Looked like they were made ages ago. Stale and yellowed, seemed inedible. Why would Philip keep something like this around? Curious, I picked one up and placed it in my palm. Little cat paw print design. Though not fresh, I could still faintly make out the imprint. In the center, a tiny heart-shaped design, especially cute. Just like. I froze. Just like the ones I often made at home, baking sweets. Adding that mark in the center. As soon as that thought popped up, a flood of scattered, fragmented memories rushed into my mind. It seemed in some forgotten corner of my past. I would bake cookies for a boy this way too. He carried me once, slowly walking across the rainy track field. The sky was full of stars that day. His clothes got splashed with lots of muddy water. I lay on his shoulder and gently ruffled the boy's hair. I said, "Are you tired?" He turned his head slowly. Gave me a smile. Just as I was about to clearly see his face, the system suddenly came online unexpectedly. A metallic voice cut off my memory straight away. "Host, I've detected Philip's status. He's super vulnerable right now. Quickly give him a comforting hug care package, you're sure to win him over." I rubbed my ears, sighed. Though I wanted to ask my diligent system to maybe not startle me like that, the next moment. I obediently got up. Grabbed a coat and walked out the door. Took the line 4 to line 3. Rode round and round, ended up back downtown in the opposite direction. But not in the crowded hotel area. Following the system's directions. I went through a lot, and finally ended up at a secluded corner. The long commute time had it nearing dusk. Next to a mottled dirt wall was a street lamp. That bit of dim light made this place all the more dreary. Before I got closer, I saw a few long shadows. Stretched out from around the corner. Then came continuous angry voices. Jason spent all that money hiring you, and you can't even keep an eye on someone? Be honest, did Carrie bribe you to let her go on purpose? Come on, where's Carrie? Spill it. Is this about me? The sudden topic startled me. Feet halted, I gripped the bricks nearby, peeked around. In the open narrow space ahead of the corner, a bunch of people gathered around. Almost everyone held sticks or knives or something. They all crowded around, beating on a young man in the middle. That guy had his back to me. His t-shirt was already soaked with blood, but he kept his back straight, refusing to bend. Until Jason stepped out from the shadows. He looked spotless. Like he just came from a meeting. But his voice was utterly constrained. I heard you're the best in the business. If you want to keep an eye on someone, no one can disappear from under your watch. So Jason. Many days ago, I haven't been able to get a hold of you. And now I really have to wonder, just how much did they pay you to make you abandon your code? Jason took a deep breath, paused. I've only got one question, where's Carrie? Philip slowly lifted his head. Wiped the corner of his mouth with the back of his hand, maybe laughed a bit. Jason, you probably forgot. Seems I haven't been with you guys as a bodyguard for long. Didn't even sign a contract, haven't seen any of that labor fee you promised. Talk to me about professional ethics? Told you before I was done, didn't I, young master? Philip's words barely left his mouth. Jason's face turned a shade darker. He glanced to the side. Someone holding a stick immediately stepped forward, lifting it high. Damn, how do you talk to Jason like that? I'm giving you a chance to rephrase it. Jason raised his hand. Waved it gently. Do you want money? How much do you want? Can you take me to Carrie? A brief silence. The moon seemed to creep up slowly. I stood still, watching Philip's back. Seeing him suddenly move and grab the stick from the person next to him, he swung it hard towards Jason's head. Money, what money? I want Carrie, that's what I want. In that moment, dreams, memories, and reality overlapped. The school bully who used to carry me across the playground and Philip merged into one. A long, long time ago. He seemed to stand in front of me just like that. When I was bullied. He'd step up right away, snatch things from others, and threaten fiercely. Mess with Philip's people again, and I'll break your arm. Now, he's trying to protect me in another way. Jason looked incredulous. His fists clenched tight, muttering angrily over and over. What? What the hell do you mean? The meaning is. I ran over, grasped Philip's hand, intertwining our fingers. I like him, I love him, I want to spend my life with him. Do you understand that? Meaning. What does liking mean, what does loving mean? I used to never think about it. When the system told me to go after someone, I did. After all, I was promised that if I succeeded, I'd get wealth, luck, status. Lots and lots of rewards. But right in this moment, when the system actually announced the success, I realized, giving love and getting love back feels pretty great. Like walking a long, long road. And at the end, finding someone has been waiting for you all along. After I said those words, Jason was stunned for a moment, his body slightly trembling. I guess when I called off the engagement on social media and he came to the hotel lobby that day, he thought a lot. Was I just being petty? Was my boyfriend real or not? And who really was he? Now, a few days after I've gone missing, everything seems to have settled, and the truth has come out. Jason finally lifted his head. He looked at me, eyes bloodshot. Carrie. Stop kidding around. How could he be your boyfriend? How long have you known each other? How is he even worthy? I cut Jason off. Jason, don't make me hear that again. Are you reminding me that being with you was a huge mistake? Jason pressed his lips together. His face turned pale. I ignored him, raised my hand to touch Philip's cheek. There were streaks of dried blood there. I didn't know if it was his or someone else's. I sighed, remembering the past. Things wouldn't have gotten this messy if those people hadn't cheated with weapons. I squeezed his hand. Let's go home. He looked down at me. Yeah. Lots of people around glanced at each other. Would they dare come at us again? But I knew, even if something did happen, Philip would protect me quickly. So we supported each other and left. Until Jason called my name. Carrie. If I told you, I really regretted leaving you at the engagement party. I smiled. That's not my problem anymore. Jason, it's over. Though we're near the city center, this little road is secluded and quiet. Hardly anyone passes by. Philip and I walked slowly, our footsteps echoing. Click, click. The sky was full of stars. I remembered all the times he'd carried me home from school. Philip, do you remember? I looked up. Realizing he's been watching me the whole time. Gazing intently. He reached out his hand. A red velvet box in his palm. Inside was a very beautiful, very delicate diamond ring. Can I put it on you? I watched him slide the ring onto my finger, bit by bit, suddenly understanding. He remembered the things I said when I left. My boyfriend can't even buy a diamond ring. I'm going to live like a rich lady in the future. I'm scared of being poor. Philip coughed twice and scratched his nose. I was supposed to pick up the ring today, but things got messy. Were you scared? I shook my head. The ring sparkled, making me think. It must have been expensive. How many punches did Philip have to throw to pay for it? So before he left, he arranged for a bodyguard for me. He reached out and ruffled my hair. Smiling. Carrie, don't worry. I promised I'd work hard. I've already paid off my debts and I'm trying to start a business. It's small, but getting on track. I remembered the stack of professional books on his shelf. Looks like he's read a lot. The system suddenly chimed in. Don't listen to him being humble, his project is making waves in the industry. It's very promising. I actually hadn't heard this news. Did he show up as a bodyguard just because he heard about your engagement? I ignored the system's shouting. The next moment, Philip crouched down in front of me. Carrie, I'll carry you. I was stunned. You're hurt, how can you? He scoffed and gently pulled me onto his back. What does a little wound matter? Don't underestimate me. The moonlight was gentle. Like the past we walked through. And like the future we're heading towards together.